Hi, my name is Idris, and I want to welcome you and to thank you so much for for following us on our YouTube channel. It's purely tourism business learning, you know, and we've got something new every day. We try to see, what can we bring to you and probably learn from us. Very quickly, we today we want to introduce a session, and they'll come into a number of series, but we want to call it a tourism business digest. And in this digest moment, we'll probably have other people, two or three people joining me at one point. And here we'll be talking about or sharing opinions on a number of things that either works for each other or probably what has worked, for them. So, but the final, uh, probably for you to, it will be you to decide on whether you feel something someone said works for you as well, and probably you can take it. So it will be more of sharing opinions, in as far as what you think that can work in this tourism business. So in this case, for now, I'm going to start it alone, and we'll take, it will be you to take side, but me, I won't take sides. I'll be here to guide you on what I think. These are my opinions, and I'll be able to guide you on you either take this or you take this, but either way, all will be fine. So in this case, let's dive in today's business digest. And before I forget, if you think you have a story to share on how you've managed to start your tourism business, run your tourism business, manage and grow your tourism business, no, please feel free. I can invite you on for probably a one-on-one, just to have people listen to how you've probably grown step by step. To me, I think this is very important. Let people learn from you. I think that's the biggest thing that you could ever give someone. So today we want to dive in our first session of tourism business, and once again I welcome you. And what are we looking at? We want to look at a very interesting thing. Operating your tour company or your safari company with your own vehicle or vehicles, or without your own vehicles. In other words, you're hiring vehicles from probably a third party or so, and you coming in this industry probably with your own vehicle. And like I said, it will be you probably to decide. But let's look at the first side, and also we'll look at the other side, and we'll look at the advantages of either side, and probably we'll draw a conclusion, and we'll leave everything for you probably to come up and say, okay, this is the best, and we're not going to judge whether you start with or without a vehicle. But let's look at the requirements probably for those that start without vehicles. If you want to do a successful tour operation and probably you don't have vehicles, what do you need? And one, we look at a reliable car supplier, right? It's very important. Where do you get the cars? Reliable meaning he has cars that are roadworthy. Reliable meaning that he doesn't change his words, so that you can be able to start. And to me, I feel this is one of the key things. You do not have a vehicle, neither you don't plan to have vehicles in 5-10 years of your operations. Regardless, I would say you don't need vehicles to start. Neither you don't need vehicles to do tour operations. You don't need to own, but you need a reliable car supplier. And then these vehicles must be well maintained. So it is upon you to do research or to do proper assessment of these vehicles, how roadworthy they are. So if you do not have vehicles, make sure you probably run a very, very critical criteria in probably looking out for vehicles that are roadworthy. And you also look at flexibility of the car owner. That's very important. In everything that you do, flexibility must be very important. And of course, professional guides. Remember, the car owner may have his or her driver guides, but do not be forced to take them in as far as if they are non-professional. But if they are professional, team up. But if they are not, probably get your professional guides plus the reliable car supplier, then you patch them together and then you'll be very good to go, right? So that is one key thing. And how about when you have your cars? And besides, before you think of the cars, first of all, you must purchase these cars. And whatever we call as Safari Land Cruisers, the Safari vehicles, forget about the vans, the drones or whatever. No, now we are talking about customized Safari vehicles. And these are probably the Land Cruisers or the Safari Jeeps. They are costly. They are very costly in as far as, I think if you're going to deal with a reconditioned vehicle and probably you want to take it for redesign and etc., minimum can be about 60,000 US dollars. Out there you can tell us the right price for those that have done it. But brand new Land Cruiser can be between 70, 80, 90,000 US dollars. So if you think of having two Safari vehicles, probably as a starter or probably that you've been in business, that's about 200,000 US dollars in total. That's close to $1 billion Uganda shilling. That's too much money. It's too much money. So you need to own cars. You have that money, go for it. If you don't have that money, you don't need to own cars. So for car owners, be ready to have a huge investment as big as that. Of course, you also need professional guides that are going to drive these cars, to keep them in good mechanical state. They should be looking nice every day, should be clean every day. So someone who is good to take care about these cars, you need that professional. Being able to maintain the vehicles so well, it should be in your heart. Should be in your heart. You should be a good manager of these vehicles. Vehicles are like human beings. So if you're not of this type, please do not think of owning cars. Let's look at the advantages of operating without cars. They are there. So let's dive in and look at the advantages. First of all, little or no stress. Because you just call your car supplier. I need a vehicle, a particular date, 15th to 20th of July or August. No stress. So you have no stress at all. No maintenance costs, associated costs like, servicing, repairs, breakdowns, etc. You don't own, but you can operate good Safari business. And you have no maintenance costs and that all associated costs. Of course, you make more money. I'm not going to take you into the calculation, but I'll give you an example. If you're going to rent out a car to a client, probably at around $350, this is the market price. And probably you're giving the car owner $220, all inclusive fuel, driver guides allowance, and the vehicle use per day. So you do times 10, you'll see how much the car owner is going to take, about $2,200. And your difference probably will be about $130. Times 10, you have $1,300, nearly 60% of what the car owner. But the associated costs with the car owner will definitely, he will bear that. But you take all your money, with no hassle. So you make more money. at anyway. Even when you hire the minivans, you rent it out at 150. I think at an average cost, a minivan is about $50 per day. It's 200,000, right? So you see, you can remain with some good money. A lot of options can be available for you to choose. Remember, you have 2 or 3 reliable car suppliers, and you can choose from which is not the case when you own cars. When you own cars, probably you need your cars to go on your particular safari. You're limited to choices, so definitely you have to allocate whatever car is available in your company for that particular job. So the advantages of owning cars, guaranteed availability. So if you're thinking about, you need to have, around this time, it's a busy season. June, July, August, September, it's a busy season. So when you own cars, your company own cars for your safaris, etc. First priority is to your business. That means guaranteed availability. And of course, you make more money when you're doing your own safaris. But if you're hiring out these to outside parties, you don't make more money. But when you're doing your own safaris, probably you can take the lion's share. When you own cars, you can be able to pick up last-minute businesses because you have your car. A car is at your disposal at any given time. Remember, you gazetted these cars for your own business. So it's last-minute means in the next 3, 4, 5 hours, you pick up a call and say, do you have a Land Cruiser going to Kidepo? You can probably do that. So last-minute business is guaranteed for you to take. Then lastly, of the advantages is high flexibility in pricing of your car to your business, you see, because you can choose to discount anyhow, which is not the case with someone who is hiring. So I think you can see in our tourism business digest session, it is now you to decide which way to take. And this is one of the key things that will be, digesting with my fellow colleagues or friends that I'll try to invite for such sessions to talk about how should we do it, how have you done it, probably how should others do it, you see. Let's look at the shortfalls and probably we close this session. The shortfalls of not owning cars. Availability is not guaranteed. I'm telling you, in busy season, if you don't own a car, even when you have a reliable supplier, like I said, sometimes he or she can bounce you off. They have a tendency of booking. You book 3 days and then someone comes in and books 15 days and then next time you hear and say, oh, sorry, the car is not available. So availability is not guaranteed. Even with advance booking, because you say, no, I want to take a car in October, I want to book now, But trust me, even with advance booking, for those that have been in this industry without cars, I think you've seen this happening. On last minute, someone denounces you, sorry, I don't have a car. It happens. Then the other thing is poorly maintained cars that are not roadworthy. You're bound to pick these, because it's a busy season. You have a departure, you have no choice. The car is not available, probably you had booked one, these are disappointed you, and then you have to book whichever car is available at your disposal. But it's a poorly maintained car. And next will be breakdown. So be very careful. That could be a shortfall of not owning cars. Then the other one is it's very hard for you to put together last minute bookings because you have to call these car suppliers and everyone will tell you, my car is this, it's returning the other day, blah, 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 all that stuff. No, I have no car available. And what happens? Last minute, you will lose it. As opposed to the other one who has his own cars and they were gazetted for his business. So last minute becomes very tricky for if you don't own a car. And probably if you try to get a car for last minute arrangement, you may get it at double price. So you be very careful. And lastly, as a shortfall here is no flexibility in pricing. When you're quoting a client, you make sure that first is to meet the reserve price of the reliable supplier where is you're actually getting cars. So you don't have flexibility that I can give out my car at this price at any time. No, it is first the price of the supplier. So very quickly, let's also look into the shortfall of the other party where you own cars. Of course you make less profits when you're giving your car to someone to take it for a safari. Like I said, the simple calculation we did, probably someone is hiring a Land Cruiser at $220 all inclusive, guide, fuel and the vehicle, and the other person probably charged the client $350. So he makes more. Remember, he has no burden of maintenance, etc. So he takes the lion's share than you. So think about that. Then the higher maintenance cost burden will definitely fall on you. Think about an accident, crashing. Think about all that stuff, servicing, tire replacement, all that. The maintenance cost comes with you. Then the associated legal fees, the licensing every year, all that, it comes to you as but still, remember the car is doing some business. So I feel that you can probably cover up, but these are points that we shouldn't leave out for you to understand. Then high payment plans, especially when the car owner you acquired these vehicles on a loan basis. Probably could be a bank loan, and remember, you may end up paying more if you bought a car through asset financing from a bank, probably at $90,000 US, you may end up paying more, or nearly close to 130,000 euros. So in our business digest today, I hope you've had something. I hope you can now talk to a friend and probably discuss and say which is better. We are not going to say what works better, but we are leaving it to you to decide. So this will be our business, tourism business digest. We give you all sides, the shortfalls of both sides, the advantages of both sides, and probably advise you what you feel. We give you our knowledge, and you probably decide on what you feel can be of good to your tourism business. I want to thank you again for keeping with us on our YouTube channel. It's purely tourism business learning, and I can't wait to see you in our next episode. Thank you, and bye-bye.